Hi everyone, my name is Jen. I am the teacher author behind Teaching in the Tongass, and today I'm going to show you how to make your own holiday card. And it could be digital or it could be something that you're going to print. It's totally up to you. So this is just what I do. I've been using the same style of card for the last 3 years, and so I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of exactly how I do it. It takes just a few minutes, and it's really easy, and it's cost effective. It's cheap. So the very first thing that you're going to need to do is find a background to use after you have your photos, of course. So you take your family photos, and I just used, for all of my family photos, I use a tripod and a phone holder for the tripod. And I just use a remote that connects to my iPhone with a Bluetooth, and I think it was like $10 or something on Amazon. It was super cheap, and you can't see it, but in this photo, I'm holding the little clickable remote in my hand. So every time I click the remote, it releases the shutter and it takes a photo, and that way I can be in the photo with my family and not run back and forth setting a timer. So of course you take your photos, and the next thing that you're going to need to do is find your background. So I like to use this website, pixabay.com, and I just searched for Christmas backgrounds, and I like these ones that are, they have like this wood background and a kind of a natural landscape to it. So you just click it and you drag it onto your screen like that. And just for the sake of this tutorial, I'll create kind of a new one. So you go in, PowerPoint is the program that I use. I know that seems kind of weird for many of you, but that's what a lot of teacher authors on Teachers Pay Teachers use. So you go to PowerPoint, you go to New Presentation, and you decide the layout that you want. So I personally prefer a landscape photo for our Christmas photos. So I'm going to go to File, Page Setup, and I'm going to change it to a landscape size. And I'm also going to change it to 6x4 just because that's a typical photo size. So if I wanted to get this made into prints, it would be much cheaper to do it in 6x4 size. And Shutterfly often has the 101 free prints savings that they do, little promotional things. So if you get your photos done in time, then you can possibly get your Christmas cards done for free. So I do the 6x4 size, and then you can drag your background right onto the screen. As you can see, it didn't fit. It just, there was a little bit of white on the side. And so you can just stretch it out until it fits. And if it looks wonky, like these are supposed to be circles, but if it ended up looking like ovals, then I would know that stretching it out like sideways would not be a good choice. So I would just stretch it out with the corners and then crop off any extra. So now I have my backdrop, and the next thing that you're going to need to do is drag your photos, and it's dragging your photos onto the top of this layout would be the same way that I just did this background. But for this sake, I'm just going to copy and paste the ones that I already have just so you can see, and I will show you really quickly how to lay those out and add borders as well. So you have your photos, and I like to do the group family photo in the middle, and then the photos of the kids on the side, of course. So you can plop these on top of each other. Like, let's say I did this one and it ended up being on top or underneath this one because I did it after. You can just change the arrangement of those really easily. So if you wanted this one to be on top, you can click Arrange and click Bring to Front, or you can pick whatever it is, that the one that you want to be on top of or whatever. Like, let's say I wanted this one to be on top of all of them. I could bring that one to the front. And do you see how it layered itself on top of this one? And then anytime you need to undo or anything, there's this little arrow right here that you can click undo. Okay, so I like the layout of all those photos. The other thing that you might notice is that they all have a white border around them, and I added that right here in PowerPoint. So what you'll do is you'll double click your photo, and then there are these options up here, but sometimes I notice that when I click them, it makes the photo a little bit blurry. I'm not sure why, but that's what it does on my computer. So I try to avoid using that, and I just use the regular border. I click white, and then I can, as you can see, this one has a 3-point thickness. So each of them have a 3-point thickness. They're all white just for consistency. You can play around with however you want it to look. So the next thing that you'll need to do is add a text box. I just double click like that to add a text box. It's a fairly quick little way to do that. And then drag it so that it fits across the whole template. And as you can see, a line appeared right in the middle. That's to help me know that that's directly in the middle and then it's centered. If you ever don't have that and you want to make sure something is centered, you can click Align after you double click your text box, and you can click Align Center and it'll center it so that it's not, scooted off to the side or anything weird. So then I also have the layout of the text centered by clicking Center Text. And then I'm going to choose a script font for Happy Holidays and probably a thin other font for our name. So these ones are free on Teachers Pay Teachers. So if you wanted to download Janda Happy Day, that's a really good one. And KG Always a Good Time, that's always a good one. And gosh, there's just so many. I don't know. I like these pin setter fonts also. I think this one was on Hungry JPEG. It did cost money though. Oh, this one's really cute. Tingler Script. We'll see what that looks like. And for the Happy Holidays, it's going to be fairly big. So, 80 may be too big. Let's try 40. Okay. So, Happy Holidays. I like that. Okay, so as you can see right away, it doesn't really pop out very well. So, if you want to make it stand out a little bit, you can add a glow around it by double clicking your font. Make sure that it's the font that you're selected. And then go to glow options. And because my font is black, I'm going to choose a white glow around it like that. And it's maybe too much, so I'm going to do, I think I like the 6-point font glow. Maybe change my transparency to a little bit less. Yeah, okay, I like the way that looks. And if you wanted to make this kind of curve a little bit, you can do that too. Right here, there's all these different options. I'm not going to do that for mine, but if you wanted to mess around with the styling of your font, you could. Okay, so I'm going to add another text box underneath it that says our family name. My last name is Liam. Okay, and then for that font, I'm not going to do the same one. I'm going to pick a different one that's kind of, and as you can see, I have my fonts all organized over here based on how often I use them and what kind of type they are. So I think I'm going to go with this one. And that's too big, so let's see what that looks like. Okay, I think that looks good. Okay, and then I'll add another white glow around that one so it pops out a little bit. You can also add a shadow. Sometimes that will help it pop out even more. I'll show you what that looks like. You can add shadow. There you go. That looks good. I think I'll add a shadow of this one just to see what that looks like too. Perfect. Okay, so there you go. As you can see, this Y kind of is underneath the Liam family, that text. So I'm going to make this go to the top. You can do the same thing that you did with the photos. You can organize your layering that way. I don't really like that. So let's make this one smaller and then pull it down a little bit. Okay, and I'm okay with this being off-centered a little bit, just for the sake of that. That looks great. Okay, so now that you have your photo done, it's pretty much ready. If you want to just share it on social media, you can go to Save as Pictures, save it as a JPEG or a PNG. Either of those work fine. And then you can just upload that like you would any other image. So this one is Facebook ready. I'll pop this onto Facebook later today. And then if you wanted to order prints, it's the same idea. So if you go to like Shutterfly or Walmart.com, you can upload that photo and you could order 100 of them for the same price that you would order a stack of photos. So that's it. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave me a comment. I hope you found this video tutorial useful and hope everyone has a happy holiday.